Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Today we are talking about basically all the books that I have in my collection that I still have not read, and probably also a little bit of the reasons why, if I do remember why I still haven't read them. So let's get started. I do have quite a few. Now what I'm also going to do is note down every single book that I have on here, that I have laying over here, and I'm going to make myself a little TBR jar or something like that, in the hopes of getting through my entire collection, because I do want to finish all these books before buying something new. I have such a big collection. I also have a few on my phone that I still have to read, so yeah, I cannot buy any more books now because I have way too many over here, and it's actually a little bit pathetic. Well, it's never pathetic. I mean, they're books. They don't expire, so... But the problem with not finishing all these books is that sometimes I pick up the second and third book because I love the first one, but then it goes by so long and I don't remember the first book, so I have to reread the first book before reading the second or third book. So I have to start, well, basically just start reading all these books because it has to happen. It has to happen. So without further ado, let's get into this video and let's start with all these books. I am going to start with these two, but I think there's a first one as well somewhere. I don't know where, but I do remember these are books 2 and 3, I believe. Yeah, normally you also have the Invasion of the Tierling, and I do remember having that book, but I just cannot see where it is. But yeah, I normally have Invasion of the Tierling, which I did read and I did like, although I do want to read it again. Oh no, this is the Invasion of the Tierling. Is this a duology? Let me check this. I need to see if this is the first one. Okay, no, so this is the first one, the Queen of the Tierling, as I understood. I seriously do not know which is the first one. I think this is the first one and then this is the second one. I have read one of these two, but I really cannot remember. I have read one of these two and I really did like this book, so I picked up the second one, which I don't know which is the second one, and I never got to it and I don't really remember, so if I want to read the first one, the second one, I have to read the first one again. So this is on my ever-growing TBR. So up next, and I will probably get a lot of comments about this if people watch this video, and that is, I'm sorry, Throne of Glass, Heir of Fire, and Crown of Midnight. I have started these so many times, like especially this one, because I'm a really big A Court of Thorns and Roses fan, and I also love House of Earth and Blood, and I don't know, for some reason I thought, well, let me pick up the other ones because I do love Sarah Yamasu's her writing style. So I picked up this one thinking I would love this. I picked up the second and third book and I just never finished the first one. So I really need to finish this one so I can get into the hype again, see whether or not I like them or not. And now the problem is, they have probably switched out the covers now, so that sucks because I actually really do like these covers with like the person in the front and then seeing the back. I do like these, so really need to read these ones. Then I bought let's see if this, which is the second, yeah, so I then bought I have read Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian, and I picked up these two, which is book 2 and 3 in the series, thinking that I would read it, and it just never happened. I did like the first one, but if I want to read the second and third book, I will have to reread the first one, so that's still not happening, so sucks. Then I have A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab, which is the second book in this series, and I remember having the first one, which is A Darker Shade of Magic. No, is it the second one? I do believe this is the second one. Now, either way, I have to read another book just to understand this one, I believe, and that's why I have not read this one. I do remember having the other book, and I gave it to somebody, or I lent it to somebody, and that person never gave it back, so thank you for that. I cannot read it. Another funny one is when I was going for my 30th birthday and we were going book shopping, I got the chance to buy books, as many as I could carry, basically in 5 minutes or so. So they gave me 5 minutes to go through the aisles that I wanted to pick books up and just pick as many as I could carry. If a book would fall, then it would not count. And so I actually kind of managed to pick up 10 books. And for some books I already knew I wanted them, and for some books I just, how should I say it? I just randomly grabbed. So this is one of the randomly grabbed books, and even though the cover really seemed amazing, this is basically book 5 in a series. I have not picked up book 1, 2, 3, and 4 because I should have seen on the back that it was not the first book in this series. Oh no, this is book 4. So I might look up the first book online and see whether or not I want to read this, and then I will see. Otherwise, this will probably be a sell-off for me, because it is a little bit different than I would normally read. This is more like war and all that stuff, and I'm a little bit more into romantasy and not necessarily war fantasy. So we'll see if I can find the first one for not the biggest price online. Up next, let's have a little look. Now, the ones that I'm grabbing now are books that I have recently read the first one of, so I actually should be reading the second book by now. So yeah, the first one is Queen of Myth and Monsters, which is the second book from Scarlett Sinclair. The first one is King of Battle and Blood, I believe. I have it somewhere. Yeah, but I do believe it's King of Battle and Blood is the first one, and I actually really did like it. Also, the books aren't this big, so it's a pretty easy read. This is the second one, and I really do wish to read this one soon. Also, these are pretty decent size to take traveling with me, so I'm going to Bali at the end of the year, so might pick up a few of these thinner books to take along with me on vacation. Very good idea of mine. Then up next I have The Witch's Blade and the Rogue Crown by A.K. Mulford. I have read the first one, which is The High Mountain Court, because it was recommended as a sort of a Court of Thorns and Roses vibes. So I picked up the first one. I was a little bit disappointed in the first one, maybe because of my hopes of being just as great as that one, but it wasn't a bad book. So I do have the second and third book, and I will probably read them as well sometime soon, if my TBR jar gives them to me. Up next is one that I actually also picked up for my boyfriend, and also a little bit for myself, which is The Witcher. I did pick up this one. This is the first one, I believe, The Blood of Elves. Yes, this is the first one, Blood of Elves. We are currently watching The Witcher, and we are really excited to see whether or not the book is just as great as the series, because I do like the series as well as an entire little series. So excited to see if this is going to be worth the hype and if it's as good as the series. I'm currently in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 books in, and I'm still not halfway. Let's go over to these ones. Up next we have The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I have heard many great things about this, and I still have not read this. This is the first one in this trilogy, so I am really excited. I just never got to it. This is also one of the books I picked up for my birthday, so this is one of the 10 books. The next one is The Bone Shard Daughter, which is also a really hyped book. Even Sarah Yemas commented on this one. So I'm not sure if there is going to be any romance in this, so that's probably why I'm putting off these and the first and the previous one, because I don't know if there's going to be a little bit of romance in it, and I, for some, really do like having romance with my fantasy. So yeah. Then the next one is Kingdom of Souls, The Lost Witch Doctor by Rena Barron. I really do like this cover. It's a really pretty cover. I have started this one. I got into, up until chapter 10, and then I kind of stopped reading it, so I'm going to take this out because I don't even know what I read. So I have started this, didn't finish, obviously, so I will have to go and try this one again. And I really do want to try this again, because it was a pretty expensive book for a paperback, I think, so. Up next, we have Babel. I am kind of putting this off, starting this one, for the reason that it is so not my genre. Genre? Do I say that right? But it's so not my cup of tea, to be honest. And yet I have heard so many great things about this author and its writing style, so I should go for it. I should just go for it, I believe. But maybe not just yet. We'll see what my TBR jar will say. So yeah, this is the book that I am putting off because of not being completely my type of book. Then up next, we have The Traitor Queen, which I think I'm going to take this one with me on vacation because it's such a thin book. I don't know how many pages it is, but... Oh, seems another book. Oh, yes, that's the next one. It's a little bit more than 330 pages. I have read the first book multiple times. I really did like it. I just kind of forgot what it was about. So I have to read the first one again to finish this one. And for some reason, I want to read this right now. But for some reason, I also want to wait so I can take this one on vacation with me. Don't really know what to do. Maybe I should put together a little vacation TBR and a little at-home TBR. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And now, if you saw my previous video, then you know that I picked up a few books. So yeah, these are on my not finished reading because I haven't started them except for this one, A Curse of Crows. I am currently reading this one and I'm going to keep reading this one until I am finished with this. It's a pretty good book. It's by Lauren de Droog, which is a Belgian author who has written an entire book in English. So I'm currently reading this one. And then obviously The Foxglove King by Hannah Witten has to be here because I have not started this. But I am pretty excited about this. I have heard quite a few things, quite a few mixed things actually about this. So I don't know whether or not this is going to be good or not. I do like that it's pretty floppy, so what I do not like is that I have kind of already dented my pages. I think I did something wrong when picking this up, so. Then Chaos and Flame, which is also a nice one to pick, to take with me on holiday, because I mean the size is almost the same as the Trader Queen. I mean, these are both like really thin and quick reads for me, so. Oh, and they are both by Penguin, you guys can see. So yeah, might take these two with me on holiday. I am now going into like my final paperbacks, and then I also have a few hardcovers, so I'm gonna start with this trilogy. You guys can see probably this is the City of Brass, the Kingdom of Copper, and then the Empire of Gold. I am putting this off because it's a pretty difficult book to read if you want to open this. I actually wish I had these in hardcover because they are so stunning. I really do like the cover. So I wish I had these in hardcover, but they were just too expensive, so I could not give myself permission to buy those hardcovers. I have started reading the first one a long time ago online. Well, online, I mean e-reader or something. It's not really an e-reader when you read on your phone, but you know what I mean. So I started this one. I really did like it. I just never picked it up again, so I decided to buy the paperbacks, hoping that I would start them, and I still have not started them. I really do need to start them. But for me the problem is my lack of memory, so if I start the first one I have to read the second and third one. So yeah. Next is another one that is a little bit of, well, for some people it's going to be dramatic. I don't think it's dramatic. I just think I'm fucked because I have to read the first one again to understand this one, because I have been reading this one up until chapter 17, and that is House of Sky and Bread, which is, by the way, one of the most stunning covers that I own. But the problem with this is I don't really remember much of the first one because it has been such a long time, and I'm thinking, you know what, the third one is going to come out. Why don't I just wait till the third one is out and then just read the first one, second one, and third one all in order? Because for the life of me, I just cannot start the first one and then read the second one and then have to start all over again before the third one is out. So I'm just going to wait until the third one is out, buy the third one, and then do a little readathon with these 3 books. And then a book series that I heard so many great things about. I have these since December last year because these were my Christmas presents. And they are basically from the same author as Babel. Yes, they are the same author as this one, and that is the Poppy War. The Poppy War is a pretty popular book series I have heard, and it's supposed to be really good. Now, yet again, this does not contain a lot of romance, and that is for me a little bit of off-putting. Well, not necessarily off-putting, but it does not capture my eye as quickly as other books. So I do want to read this, but I have to be in the right mood for this. Maybe during like fall, Halloween-ish, like with all the war vibes going on. So this is the Poppy War, the Dragon Republic, and the Burning God. So yeah, I do like the covers though. I mean, I think the covers are really pretty. So, now let's go on to the hardbacks, which are only 5 books, by the way. And by the way, my hardcovers are probably the most stunning covers that I own. I'm going to start with these Infinite Threads. I actually started reading this one as well. But These Infinite Threads is the second book in this Woven Kingdom. Now, what I do not like about this book is this. Shiny cover, matte cover, smaller book, bigger book. Why would you do this? Don't do this. You kind of fuck yourself. I almost didn't buy this because of the difference. But I do like this cover more than this cover. Just going to say it. I don't like shiny covers. I feel that they look a little bit cheap. And I'm not really impressed by this. This would be so pretty if it was just like this matte cover. Now, without talking about the cover, the book itself, I love the first book, so I do want to read the second book and really soon. I just have to pick a right setting for this. Then also a sequel is The Ballad of Never After, which, just a second. Oh goddamn, that wasn't good. Are they okay? Yeah, they are okay. So this is the first book, like really somber and moody and all that, and then you get this. I mean, at least they are the same height, but this is giving me dramatic, moody vibes, and this one is giving me fantasy, happy. Now, I have not read the second one. The first one, I didn't love the first one. I thought it was okay. It was probably a 3-star for me. So, I do hope that the second one is going to be a bit better. Up next, I'm going to go for The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. I have started this, couldn't finish it because it felt too much of a fairy tale for me, and I wasn't really into the fairy tale mood at that moment. The cover is one of the most pretty covers I own, which I'm also going to say about the next book and the book after that. So, just saying that I do love a good fantasy cover. I mean, look at how pretty it is. I just didn't finish this. I didn't get far into it. I mean, what I also thought was that the writing was like so big, it felt like a book for like very young teenagers, like 12-13 years old. I don't know, I felt a little bit like a kid when starting this. Maybe that's a mistake I made, I don't know, but I do want to finish this, so this is also going to be in the TBR jar. And then next is, I'm doubting whether this one is the most pretty or the next one. I mean, this one is also stunning, but I mean, this one wins over this one, but I don't know if this one wins over the next one. I read Daughter of the Moon Goddess, which also read a little bit of a fairy tale, but it was a bit more mature, so that's why I did finish that one. I am really interested in Heart of the Sun Warrior, so I don't think these have like pretty, no, just random covers. I have not started this one. I do want to start this one anytime soon. Don't know why I haven't actually, but I really did like Daughter of the Moon Goddess. It was a 4-star for me, so I do think I will like the second one as well. And then last but not least, this has been put off because only one reason, and when I lift this book you guys will probably understand, and you guys will probably think, yes girl, I know what you mean. Can we take a moment to appreciate the thickness of this book? I mean, this is over 800 pages, I believe. Oh yes, it is. It also comes with an entire glossary and virtuedom, deceased and historical persons of the South, deceased and historical persons of the East, persons of the tale. I'm not good at remembering names, So when this comes with something like that, which is also the case for A Curse of Crows, it's really difficult for me to keep my attention to it, because I am somebody who likes to focus on one person and that's it. So if it has multiple persons in it, like a little bit with Game of Thrones. With Game of Thrones, I kind of focused on a few persons and I followed their story, because I just could not remember all those characters for the life of me. I just could not. I have a really bad memory, so when my boyfriend asks me why I would buy all these books, I would always tell him that because of my bad memory, it's always like reading a book again for the first time. So, yeah. This is probably the most stunning cover that I own. I do like... Yeah, it's a bit of a battle for me. They are both so pretty, but I do love dragons. So, I think this one wins for me. But it really is just the thickness of it, and then the little glossary in the back that is kind of putting off reading this. I keep finding bookmarks. So yeah, this was basically my entire book collection that I have not read. So let me go ahead and count all these books for you guys, so I can give you an idea of how many books there are. Quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 29, 30, 31, 32. I've got 33 books that I have not read. Oh no, 34 if I count The Curse of Crows. 34 books that I have not read, so I will start making notes and put them in a little jar, so I hopefully will read them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye!